12 crops you can still plant in October. Right now, hey there, garden dreamers and plant lovers. Welcome back to Earthly Delights, the place where your home and garden come alive, even when the world outside starts to slow down. I know many of you watching are people who find peace in watering your plants after a long day, who sneak out to your balcony with a cup of tea just to check if a new leaf has unfurled, or who turn the smallest backyard corner into a sanctuary of green. And if you've been wondering whether October means it's time to pack away your trowel, think again. This is the month when real gardeners, the quiet ones who listen to the rhythm of nature, know something magical happens beneath the surface. The air turns crisp, the sunlight softens, and the soil still holds enough warmth to cradle life. In today's video, we'll explore 12 incredible crops you can still plant in October, right now. Whether you grow in containers on a balcony, tend a suburban backyard, or simply nurture herbs by your kitchen window, there's still plenty you can do to keep your hands in the soil and your spirit connected to growth. So take a breath, grab your gloves, and let's uncover the quiet beauty of October gardening together. If this kind of green inspiration fills your soul, don't forget to subscribe to Earthly Delights, because every season brings a new chance to grow. Part 1. The roots of patience, garlic and onions. The slow magic beneath the soil. If there's one crop that teaches patience better than any book or workshop ever could, it's garlic. It's not a plant for those who need instant results. It's for the ones who trust time, who understand that good things take months to form beneath the surface. Whether you have a sprawling garden or just a few pots on your balcony, this is the moment to plant your hope, one clove at a time. As you press each clove into the soil, imagine the quiet transformation that begins underground. Through the chill of October and the stillness of winter, roots stretch and anchor themselves, unseen but unstoppable. In cold zones, this natural exposure to frost, what we call vernalization, is what makes your bulbs strong. But if you're watching from a warm zone, don't worry. You can mimic winter by chilling your cloves in the fridge for a few weeks before planting. Garlic adapts, much like us, when given a little help and patience. And while you're at it, tuck in a few onion sets or shallots nearby. These companions thrive in the same cool season, weaving a quiet network of life under the mulch. When spring arrives, their green shoots will be the first to rise, proof that even in the darkest months, something beautiful was working all along. So, as October deepens, plant your faith in the soil. Garlic and onions don't just flavor your food, they remind you that growth worth having always begins in silence. Part 2. The nutty survivor. Lambs, lettuce, and spinach. The gentle greens of October. When most gardens are slowing down, two quiet heroes keep growing. Lambs, lettuce, and spinach. They don't demand much attention, yet they thrive when everything else starts to fade. These are the crops for those of you who crave a little green during gray days, for balcony gardeners with only a few pots, or anyone who loves the idea of harvesting life from cold soil. Lamb's lettuce, also called mâche, is like nature's velvet, soft, nutty, and resilient. It loves the cool air and soft moisture of October, making it the perfect green to sow right now. Sprinkle the tiny seeds across a bed or container, keep them gently moist, and let time do the work. In a few weeks, you'll have a lush carpet of edible leaves, perfect for salads or sandwiches. It's a plant that doesn't just grow, it comforts, reminding you that even the smallest green can lift your spirit in winter. Spinach joins the story with its deep green strength. It asks for little, just cool soil, steady watering, and a patient heart. Whether grown in a pot by the window or in a small raised bed, spinach rewards you with nutrition and vitality when the rest of the garden rests. Plant these gentle greens together, and you'll see how nature rewards simplicity. They are quiet survivors, delicate to look at, but fierce in spirit. Just like every gardener who refuses to give up when the seasons turn cold. Part 3. Beets and carrots. The hidden colors beneath the cold. There's something deeply poetic about root vegetables. They grow quietly, out of sight, while the rest of the garden fades. Beets and carrots are the artists of the underground world, painting the soil with color when the surface seems lifeless. For those of you who love surprises, these crops are nature's way of reminding us that beauty doesn't always bloom where we can see it. Beets, with their deep red and golden tones, thrive in October's cool touch. Plant them now, and they'll root slowly through winter, storing energy and sweetness for spring. If you've never been a fan of the earthy taste, try golden or kyoja beets. They're milder, almost honey-like. Watching their leaves dance above the soil gives you a hint of the treasure growing beneath. And then there are carrots, the humble symbols of patience. Whether you grow them in the ground or in deep containers on a patio, they'll reward you with crisp sweetness just when you need it most. October's cool weather keeps them tender, while the frost adds a touch of sugar to their flavor. These roots remind us that growth doesn't need to be loud to be meaningful. While the world above turns gray, something colorful and full of life is forming below. Beets and carrots are your quiet promise that even in the coldest season, creation never truly stops. Part 4. Fava beans and peas, the quiet garden workers of winter. As the air turns crisp and the days grow shorter, most plants begin to rest. But not fava beans and peas. These quiet workers come alive when the rest of the garden slows down. They're the gardener's secret allies, quietly rebuilding the soil while offering the promise of fresh pods in spring. For those of you who dream of a self-sustaining garden, this is where regeneration begins. Fava beans are nature's gift to patient growers. Plant them now and they'll spend the winter weaving a network of roots that enrich the earth with nitrogen, turning your soil into a living pantry of nutrients. Their sturdy stalks stand tall through frost, while their deep roots prepare for spring's awakening. Come early season, you'll be rewarded with blossoms so fragrant and pods so buttery, they'll feel like a reward for your faith. Peas share the same gentle resilience. Whether it's sugar snaps or shelling peas, they climb with quiet determination, even in cool weather. Train them along a small trellis, balcony railing, or garden fence. They'll find their way upward. And when the first delicate flowers appear, you'll feel the joy of knowing that winter hasn't stopped life. It has only changed its rhythm. Together, fava beans and peas remind us that gardens, like people, need rest to grow stronger. Plant them in October and let them work in silence through the season, transforming your soil and your spirit with quiet persistence. Part 5. Kale, collards, and mustard greens, the warriors of the cold garden. When frost begins to settle on your garden beds and the morning air turns silver, most crops surrender. But not these greens. Kale, collards, and mustard rise like quiet warriors, strong and graceful, thriving in the chill that makes others fade. They are for gardeners who understand that beauty isn't always soft. Sometimes it's found in endurance. Kale is the classic cold survivor, and October is when it shines. Its leaves grow sweeter after a touch of frost, almost as if hardship refines its flavor. Curly kale, Tuscan kale, or even the purple varieties, each adds texture and color to your garden when everything else is bare. Collards, too, are powerhouses. Their broad leaves soak up the cool air and reward you with generous harvests all winter long. Then comes mustard greens, bold, peppery, full of character. They wake up your taste buds and add life to any meal, even when the days feel slow and gray. If you plant them together, they form a tapestry of strength, greens that don't wilt when the world turns cold. For every gardener who's ever doubted themselves, these plants whisper a quiet truth. You can thrive in the coldest seasons too. So plant your greens, wrap your hands around the earth, and remember, resilience is a form of beauty, and it grows right here, leaf by leaf, in the heart of October. Part 6. Cilantro, dill, and parsley, the fragrant heart of the cool season. There's something deeply comforting about stepping into your garden on a cool October morning and catching the scent of fresh herbs. While flowers fade and leaves fall, cilantro, dill, and parsley quietly come to life. These herbs are the heart of the cool season, delicate yet persistent, thriving when most things slow down. They are perfect for those of you who love to bring the freshness of the garden straight into your kitchen. Cilantro, with its bright, citrusy aroma, is at its best in the chill. It grows fast from seed and flourishes in containers, raised beds, or even along a sunny windowsill. If you plant a few seeds every couple of weeks, you'll have a constant supply through winter. Dill stretches tall and feathery, catching every bit of weak autumn light. Its leaves and seeds are treasures, perfect for soups, salads, and that unmistakable scent of homegrown flavor. Parsley may be humble, but it's a quiet hero. Its deep green curls bring life to any dish. And in the garden, it's tougher than it looks, holding strong through light frost and wind. Together, these herbs are small reminders that freshness isn't tied to season, it's tied to intention. So whether you grow them in your backyard or by your kitchen window, let their scent remind you that even in the coldest months, the spirit of growth and flavor never leaves. Part 7, Edible Flowers and Companion Blooms. The colors that heal the garden. When most of the world sees October as the season of fading colors, gardeners know a secret. It's actually the time to plant new beauty. Edible flowers like marigolds, calendulas, and bachelor's buttons don't just brighten the garden, they heal it. They are the bridge between the seasons, the gentle companions that call pollinators back even when the air cools. For those of you who grow not just for harvest but for harmony, these blooms belong in your soil. Marigolds stand proud and golden, protecting your beds from pests while adding cheer to every corner. Their roots release natural compounds that cleanse the soil, a quiet act of kindness beneath the surface. Calendulas, sometimes called the sunshine flower, bloom through frost with soft orange and yellow petals that glow even on gray days. Their petals are edible too, perfect for salads or herbal teas that taste like hope. And then there are bachelor's buttons, simple yet striking. Their cool blue petals contrast beautifully against the greens of your herbs and vegetables, making your fall garden look alive again. Plant them between kale, beets, or carrots, and watch how they attract bees long after summer's end. In October, flowers remind us that beauty and purpose can exist side by side. Each bloom, small as it may be, carries warmth into winter. A reminder that color doesn't disappear, it simply changes its form. Part 8, Wildflowers and Pollinator Patches. Planting for the spring you haven't met yet. There's a quiet kind of hope in sowing seeds you won't see bloom for months. When you plant wildflowers in October, you're not just gardening for today. You're preparing a gift for your future self. These seeds sleep through the frost, waiting patiently for the rhythm of spring to wake them. For those of you who believe that beauty takes time, this is your season's love letter to the earth. Creating a pollinator patch now means you're building a living bridge between autumn's stillness and spring's renewal. Mix native wildflower seeds, poppies, coreopsis, cosmos, and coneflowers, and scatter them gently across bare soil. Cover them with a thin layer of mulch, not to hide them, but to protect them from hungry birds and harsh wind. The rain and winter chill will do the rest, tucking them into the soil until warmth returns. Even if you live in an apartment or small home, you can create a mini meadow in a large pot or balcony box. Each seed you plant is an invitation for bees, butterflies, and hummingbirds to return when the world feels new again. So as you stand in your quiet October garden, remember, you're not just planting flowers. You're planting joy, color, and connection for a spring that's already waiting for you, just beneath the soil. Part 9, Blueberries and Strawberries, the Sweet Promise of Patience. Every gardener knows that some rewards take time, and nothing captures that truth better than blueberries and strawberries. These fruits are not just crops, they're commitments. When you plant them in October, you're planting a future moment. A quiet morning months from now when you'll pick your first sun-warmed berry and remember this very day. Blueberries love the cool air of fall. This is when their roots settle deep and strong, preparing for the bloom of spring. They ask for acidic soil and steady care, but they give back generously, not just in fruit but in beauty. Their leaves blush red in autumn, their flowers bloom white in spring, and by summer they overflow with sweetness. If you're short on space, grow them in containers. They thrive in pots, and their compact size makes them perfect for patios and small gardens. Strawberries, too, are October's little secret. Plant them now, and by next spring, they'll reward you with plump berries and trailing green runners that fill your beds with life. Whether tucked into hanging baskets or nestled among herbs, they bring color and comfort through every season. So when the days grow short and your garden feels quiet, remember, these are not just plants, they're promises. Each berry that will ripen next year begins with a choice you make today, a simple act of faith that the sweetest things in life are worth waiting for. Part 10, Cabbage and Broccoli, the cold season's bold survivors. When the first chill sweeps through your garden and everything else begins to fade, cabbage and broccoli step forward like old friends who never flinch in hard times. They are the backbone of the cool season, sturdy, nourishing, and quietly beautiful. For those of you who crave structure and strength in your garden, these are your winter anchors. Cabbage loves October. This is when the soil still holds warmth, but the air turns crisp, the perfect balance it needs to thrive. Plant your seedlings now, and they'll grow through the heart of winter, slowly curling into tight, proud heads. The frost will kiss them sweet, softening their flavor and turning them into something tender and comforting. Broccoli follows close behind, sending up sturdy green stalks that hold clusters of tightly packed florets. Watching them form is like watching slow magic, the kind that rewards attention and care. They love cool air and gentle sun, and when you harvest your first head, you'll understand the quiet satisfaction that only winter gardening brings. These brassicas are more than food, they're teachers. They remind us that strength doesn't come from avoiding the cold, but from learning to grow through it. So as October deepens, give them space in your soil and in your story, because resilience, once planted, always finds a way to bloom. Part 11, radishes and turnips. The quick rewards for patient hands. Not every crop asks for months of waiting. Some, like radishes and turnips, reward you before the season even changes. They're for the gardeners who love instant joy, the ones who peek into the soil every few days just to see what's happening. If you're someone who craves progress, who finds peace in small wins, these are your perfect October companions. Radishes are the little bursts of confidence your garden needs right now. Plant them today, and within 3 to 4 weeks, you'll be pulling out crisp, colorful roots. Their peppery bite feels alive against the cool air, and they grow so fast it's almost like watching time bloom in miniature. Tuck them between slower crops like carrots or cabbages. They'll grow, harvest, and make room again before the others even notice. Turnips, on the other hand, bring a gentler rhythm. Their round, pale roots store sweetness in the chill of fall, and their greens are a bonus treat. They thrive quietly, asking for little but giving plenty, a reflection of the best kind of gardener's heart. Together, radishes and turnips remind us that growth doesn't always have to be slow or grand. Sometimes it's the small victories, the first harvest, the sound of roots loosening in the soil, that keep us believing in what's to come. Part 12, Spring Bulbs and Future Blooms. The garden's promise to tomorrow. There's something almost sacred about planting bulbs in October. You kneel on cool soil, tuck them in, and walk away with nothing but trust. Weeks will pass, then months. Snow may fall, winds may howl, yet beneath that stillness, life stirs quietly, unseen. Spring bulbs are not just flowers waiting to bloom. They're promises written into the earth. Tulips, daffodils, and hyacinths are nature's time capsules. Plant them now, while the ground is still soft enough to work, and let them rest through winter's silence. When the world feels gray and empty, they'll be preparing their grand entrance. Bursts of color that announce the return of light. Group them in clusters for a dramatic bloom, or scatter them between your vegetables to surprise yourself later. For small space gardeners, layered pots, sometimes called lasagna planting, let you stack multiple bulbs at different depths, creating a symphony of flowers that rise one after another come spring. It's an effortless trick that makes even a balcony bloom like a meadow. Every bulb you plant this month is a reminder that beauty takes patience. You won't see the results today, but you'll feel the joy months from now when color returns and you realize the garden never stopped growing. October's quiet magic, where every seed is a second chance. As we reach the end of this October journey, take a moment to look at your garden, or even that single pot on your windowsill. And remember, it's never too late to begin again. The world may be slowing down, but nature never truly stops. Beneath the fading leaves and shorter days, your soil is alive with quiet work. Roots are forming, seeds are dreaming, and the garden is whispering its timeless truth. Growth is not about speed, it's about faith. Whether you're an experienced grower or someone who just planted your first seed this season, every act of care counts. The herbs on your kitchen counter, the bulbs tucked into cold soil, the greens thriving against frost. They're all reflections of your patience and persistence. So as you move through this month, remember, October isn't the end of the gardening year. It's the secret beginning of next spring's bloom. Keep nurturing, keep observing, and most of all, keep believing in the slow, beautiful work of nature. If this video inspired you to plant something new, share your thoughts in the comments. Tell me what you're growing this fall. And if you love finding peace and purpose through plants, make sure to subscribe to Earthly Delights for more stories that grow with you, season after season.